After 60, even a short walk can leave your legs feeling tired or unsteady. And what you snack on, especially fruits, might quietly be chipping away at your strength one bite at a time. We've always thought fruit is the healthiest snack, but after 60, your muscles don't handle sugar the same way, quietly weakening over time. After 60, your muscle recovery slows down, and your body becomes more sensitive to sugar spikes from certain fruits. That's why some healthy fruits can actually sap your leg strength, as shown in studies from the NIH and Harvard. It's not your fault. No one told you that fruits could quietly weaken your muscles after 60. But now you know, and by making smarter choices, you can help your legs stay strong and steady. In this video, we'll reveal the 7 worst fruits for leg strength after 60, and more importantly, we'll show you better options to fuel your body backed by clear science and tailored for seniors. Small shifts, big difference. You'll learn exactly what to swap and why. Let's take a closer look at the first fruit that could quietly weaken your legs, especially if you've noticed more fatigue or balance issues lately. The worst fruit number 1. Grapes. Grapes look so harmless. They're small, sweet, and bite-sized, easy to eat, comforting, and familiar. Many of us grew up with grapes in school lunches or on the dinner table as a treat. And even now, they feel like a smart light snack. But as we get older, our bodies start to respond differently to certain foods, and grapes are one of those surprising examples. You see, grapes are high in natural sugars, particularly glucose and fructose. And unlike other fruits that have more fiber or bulk, grapes digest very quickly. That means the sugar they contain enters your bloodstream almost instantly. This kind of rapid absorption causes your blood sugar to spike, giving you a short burst of energy. Then your body releases insulin to bring those sugar levels back down fast. That drop is what we call a crash. It can leave you feeling suddenly tired, lightheaded, or foggy. That sugar hits your system fast, like pressing the gas pedal, then slamming the brakes. Let's break this down more clearly. First, grapes digest quickly. This is the trigger. Next, your body releases insulin, a rapid reaction. And then comes the consequence, a crash that can leave you tired, foggy, or weak, especially in your legs. For younger folks, this up and down process might not cause much trouble. But after 60, our systems don't recover as easily. With age, insulin sensitivity can decline, and our ability to stabilize blood sugar weakens. That means these sugar spikes and crashes become more extreme, and their effects last longer. You might feel your legs wobble more often, especially in the late morning. Or you might find yourself feeling unusually tired after a light breakfast, even if you haven't done much physical activity. This can gradually impact your stability, stamina, and muscle recovery. Over time, that contributes to weaker leg strength, making daily tasks, from standing to walking, more challenging than they need to be. So what can you do? The good news is you don't need to cut grapes out of your life completely. A few small adjustments can make a big difference. First, consider portion control. Aim for about 10 to 12 grapes per serving. That's just enough to enjoy the flavor without overloading your system. Second, try pairing grapes with a source of protein or healthy fat, like a small handful of almonds or a spoonful of Greek yogurt. These additions slow down digestion, helping your body absorb the sugars more gradually and avoid that post-snack crash. Let me share the story of Gloria, a retired nurse from Toledo, Ohio. She used to enjoy a bowl of grapes every morning while watching the news. But she noticed her legs felt heavy and tired around 10 a.m., even though she hadn't done anything strenuous. Her doctor suggested she reduce her portion and add a protein. So she began eating just a few grapes with a boiled egg or some cottage cheese. Within a week, she noticed a difference. Her legs felt steadier, her energy lasted longer, and she didn't have that mid-morning crash. In summary, grapes aren't the enemy, but they do require a little more care as we age. The natural sugar in them can disrupt your energy and leg strength if eaten in excess or on their own. But with a few thoughtful changes, you can still enjoy them without compromising how you feel. Next, Let's take a look at a fruit that might be sitting on your counter right now, one that's beloved for breakfast, but can quietly drain your strength if you're not careful. Worst fruit number 2. Bananas. Bananas are one of the most popular fruits in America, and for good reason. They're portable, affordable, and require no preparation. For many older adults, a banana is a breakfast staple. Maybe you slice it onto cereal or oatmeal. Maybe you eat one on its own with your coffee. It feels light, healthy, and satisfying. But here's what most people don't realize: bananas, especially when fully ripe, can cause some surprising issues after 60. Let's break it down. Bananas are rich in natural sugars, like sucrose and fructose. When a banana ripens, those sugars become more concentrated and easier to absorb. That means your body digests them quickly, the first step in a chain reaction. Almost like burning through kindling, it gives a quick flame, but dies out fast. As the sugar climbs in your bloodstream, your pancreas releases insulin to bring it back down. But this insulin surge often overcorrects, which results in a rapid drop in energy. You may feel suddenly sluggish, irritable, or hungry again not long after. For younger people, this roller coaster might go unnoticed. But after 60, your system becomes less efficient at regulating these highs and lows. That makes the crashes more intense and longer lasting. This matters for leg strength, because our muscles rely on steady fuel, not sugar spikes followed by energy slumps. When that fuel disappears too fast, your legs may feel heavy when you climb stairs. You might experience less stability during your walks, or even feel a bit shaky after mild exertion. And when that pattern repeats day after day, it slowly drains your stamina. So what's the solution? Again, it's not about eliminating bananas entirely. It's about using them wisely. One key tip is to avoid eating bananas alone, especially first thing in the morning. Instead, pair them with a protein or healthy fat to slow down digestion. A great example is slicing half a banana and serving it with peanut butter on whole grain toast. Or enjoy it with Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. Another tip: choose slightly green bananas. They have more resistant starch and less sugar, which means they digest more slowly and have a gentler impact on your system. Take Harold, a retired train conductor from Billings, Montana. Every morning he used to eat 2 ripe bananas before his walk. But by mid-morning, his legs would ache, and he felt like he'd run a marathon. His daughter, a nutritionist, recommended he cut back to 1 small green banana and add 2 boiled eggs. The difference was night and day. He felt steadier, more energetic, and even increased the length of his daily walks. In summary, bananas can still be part of a healthy diet for older adults, but how and when you eat them matters. Eaten on their own, they act like fast fuel that burns out too quickly. But paired wisely, they can provide stable energy and support your muscles, not drain them. Up next, let's explore a tropical fruit that feels like a sweet escape, but may be quietly irritating your joints. Worst fruit number 3. Pineapple. Pineapple feels like a celebration. It's sweet, juicy, and instantly transports you to warm summer days or tropical vacations. For many older adults in the U.S., it's often served after Sunday lunch or added to cottage cheese at dinner, thinking of it as a light, healthy finish to the day. And in some ways it's full of vitamin C and a natural enzyme called bromelain that helps with digestion. But hidden beneath that vibrant flavor are a few challenges that aging bodies should take seriously. Let's start with bromelain. While it's true, this enzyme can help break down proteins, it can also irritate the lining of the stomach if consumed in large quantities, especially on an empty stomach. When that acid and bromelain hit your stomach, they can trigger mucosal stress, which may not seem like a big deal at first. But over time, this constant irritation can lead to low-grade joint inflammation, especially in people over 60 who already have existing sensitivity. Combine that with pineapple's natural acidity, and you have a fruit that can quietly trigger or worsen inflammation. Many older adults already live with some form of arthritis or joint discomfort. When foods like pineapple add fuel to that fire, the results may not be immediate, but they are cumulative. You may feel stiffer in the mornings or less stable on stairs. Maybe you've noticed soreness in your knees after standing for a while, or an achy back after eating late at night. These are all subtle signs of internal inflammation, often food-related. It's also important to understand how pineapple can interact with medications. Bromelain may increase how quickly your body absorbs certain drugs, especially blood thinners and anti-inflammatories. That means the effects of your medication might become stronger than expected, leading to fatigue or dizziness. So should you give up pineapple? Not necessarily. You can still enjoy it, just more carefully. Try eating smaller amounts only after a meal, and not every day. A few chunks of pineapple paired with low-acid fruits like blueberries or kiwi can provide the flavor without overwhelming your system. Avoid having it late at night, and steer clear of canned varieties soaked in syrup. Vince, a 72-year-old retired librarian from Tucson, Arizona, loved having a bowl of pineapple before bed. But he noticed his ankles were often swollen in the mornings, and his legs felt stiff when getting up. His daughter suggested he try limiting his pineapple to a few bites at lunch paired with a protein. Within a week, Vince reported improved flexibility and less discomfort when climbing stairs. In summary, pineapple isn't off limits, but it does require a gentler approach. Eat it smartly, listen to how your body responds, and remember, your joints will thank you. Next, let's look at a fruit that feels like summer hydration, but may actually drain your energy faster than you think. Worst fruit number 4. Pineapple watermelon is a summertime staple. Sweet, cool, and wonderfully hydrating. It's a fruit that brings joy with every bite. For many older Americans, it's kept cold in the fridge during July 4th gatherings, or served in slices at afternoon cookouts. But while it may feel like the perfect snack on a hot day, watermelon has a hidden side, especially for those of us over 60. The problem isn't with its water content, it's with how the body processes its natural sugars. Watermelon has a high glycemic index, which means it causes a rapid rise in blood sugar. When you eat a large bowl of watermelon, especially on an empty stomach, your blood sugar spikes quickly. In response, your body releases insulin to bring the sugar down. And as with grapes or bananas that drop, often comes hard and fast, leaving you tired, shaky, or craving more food. This sudden drop also affects proprioception and ankle stability making. Falls more likely especially during daily movements like turning quickly or getting up from a chair. Now think about how this feels in your legs. That kind of crash can weaken your muscle response, reduce your stamina, and lead to a wobbly feeling when standing or walking. You might also notice leg cramps at night, or a general feeling of heaviness that seems unrelated to activity. Another thing to consider, because watermelon digests so quickly, it doesn't provide long-lasting energy. You may feel a quick burst, then a fade. Over time, this pattern can wear down your muscle endurance. And when your muscles are tired, your balance and coordination suffer, two things that are vital for preventing falls as we age. So how do you keep enjoying watermelon without the setbacks? Moderation is key. Instead of a big bowl, try just a few cubes, about 1-2 cup, eaten alongside a meal that includes protein and healthy fats. For example, a slice of watermelon with a small piece of feta cheese or a few almonds can help slow sugar absorption. Avoid having it first thing in the morning or right before bed, when blood sugar regulation is most sensitive. Leo, a 70-year-old Vietnam veteran from Georgia, loved his afternoon watermelon ritual. But he began noticing a dragging feeling in his legs after dinner, and even skipped his evening walks. After consulting a nutritionist, he adjusted his timing and paired his watermelon with nuts instead of eating it solo. After 4 days of changing the timing, his energy improved, and he was back to walking comfortably around his neighborhood. In summary, watermelon can be part of a refreshing diet, but too much too fast can sap the strength from your legs. With smarter timing and a bit of balance, you can stay hydrated and strong. Coming up, a tiny, chewy fruit that many of us trust, but may be putting extra strain on your joints. Worst fruit number 5. Raisins. Raisins seem harmless. They're tiny, natural, and often part of healthy snacks like trail mix or granola. For many older Americans, raisins bring back memories of school trail mixes or the oatmeal cookies Grandma used to make. But don't be fooled by their size. Raisins pack a concentrated punch of sugar that can quietly stress your body, especially if you're over 60. Here's the issue. Raisins are just dehydrated grapes. When you remove the water, all that sugar becomes more dense and more quickly absorbed by your body. A small handful of raisins can contain as much sugar as a whole bunch of grapes, but without the hydration or fiber to slow digestion. It's like a sugar bomb in disguise, compact, sweet, and fast-acting. That leads to a rapid sugar spike, and once again, a crash. In older adults, these crashes can leave you fatigued and unsteady. You may notice joint stiffness, especially in your knees and ankles. Or you might feel a strange swelling in your lower legs that seems to appear without warning. These symptoms are subtle signs that your body isn't handling the sugar well. Another thing to watch out for: raisins are often paired with other high-sugar foods like cereals, oatmeal, or baked goods. That means your sugar load isn't just coming from one source, it's stacked, which amplifies the impact. But you don't need to abandon raisins altogether. Instead, be mindful of quantity and context. Stick to 1 tablespoon or less, and always pair them with protein or fat. Try stirring them into plain Greek yogurt or sprinkling a few on a spinach salad with grilled chicken. That way, you keep the flavor without destabilizing your energy. Clara, a 68-year-old retired seamstress from Maine, loved her mid-afternoon trail mix. But she began noticing pain in her knees after long sewing sessions. It was a sharp stiffness that often kicked in after sitting for just 2 hours. Her doctor suggested reducing her raisin intake and increasing her protein. After 5 days of adjustment, she switched to a version with cashews and dried blueberries, and within weeks, the soreness eased and her legs felt stronger during her evening walks. In summary, raisins aren't bad, but they need to be respected. With smart portions and supportive pairings, they can still be part of your snack routine without silently stealing your strength. Let's move now to something many of us drink every day, but may be sabotaging your energy more than helping it. Worst fruit number 6. Orange juice. Yes, even fresh orange juice has long been a symbol of a wholesome American breakfast. It's bright, refreshing, and packed with vitamin C. Or so we're told. Since the 1950s, it's been a kitchen staple on breakfast tables across America. For decades, we've believed a morning glass of OJ is one of the best ways to start the day. But for older adults, this well-meaning habit might be doing more harm than good, especially when it comes to leg strength and energy levels. Let's unpack why. When you squeeze an orange, you remove most of its fiber. That fiber is what naturally slows down how quickly the sugars in the fruit are absorbed into your bloodstream. Without it, orange juice becomes a fast-track delivery system for sugar, much like soda. Even a small 8-ounce glass of orange juice can contain the sugar of 4 oranges or more. And since it's liquid, it gets absorbed fast. This causes a quick rise in blood sugar, followed by a sharp insulin release. The result? A familiar crash. And for people over 60, that crash is more than just an energy dip. It can disrupt your muscle recovery, worsen leg fatigue, and even make you feel unsteady on your feet. In younger adults, the body can often buffer these swings more effectively thanks to better insulin sensitivity and faster metabolic adaptation. But in older adults, the same sugar surge from liquid juice can trigger a harder, longer-lasting crash that impacts not only energy, but also balance and coordination. If you're drinking orange juice first thing in the morning, you may find that your legs feel heavy before breakfast is even over. You might also experience shakiness during your daily walks, or feel like your knees are giving out after just a few minutes of standing. Even more surprising, this applies to both store-bought and freshly squeezed juice. While fresh juice feels healthier, the sugar behavior in your body is the same. Without the pulp, you lose the benefit of fiber and your blood sugar still spikes quickly. So, what's the alternative? First, try eating the whole orange. With the fiber intact, your body absorbs the sugars more slowly. You'll still get the vitamin C, but without the sugar shock. Another great option is replacing juice entirely with lemon water, herbal tea, or a smoothie made with whole fruits and vegetables. These choices hydrate, nourish, and support stable energy without weakening your legs. Roger, a 75-year-old retired firefighter from Spokane, Washington, drank orange juice every morning. But he couldn't understand why he felt drained by mid-morning. His legs would wobble during his neighborhood walks, and he often needed to sit down halfway. At the suggestion of his physical therapist, Roger swapped his OJ for half an orange and a boiled egg. By day 5, he no longer needed to rest halfway on his walk. After 1 week, his energy stabilized, and he was walking longer without stopping. In summary, orange juice, even the fresh kind, can quietly destabilize your energy and leg strength. If you've been relying on it as part of your morning routine, it might be time for a gentle rethink. And now, let's look at one last fruit, one that's beloved for its crunch, but can lose its benefits if you peel away the wrong part. Worst fruit, number 7. Apple. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's a saying most of us have heard for decades. And for good reason. Apples are rich in antioxidants, fiber, and are incredibly convenient. From school lunches to hospital trays, it's always felt safe, familiar, and comforting. But there's a common mistake many older adults make when preparing apples, and it could be quietly weakening your body's ability to manage energy, inflammation, and leg strength. The mistake: peeling off the skin. The skin of an apple is where most of the fiber lives. In particular, apples contain a type of soluble fiber called pectin, which plays a key role in slowing digestion, moderating blood sugar, and feeding the good bacteria in your gut. Without the skin, the apple becomes a fast-digesting source of sugar, much like fruit juice. This deprives your gut of fiber and your legs of fuel consistency, causing them to tire more quickly and recover more slowly. For those over 60, this can be a real issue. When you eat peeled apples, especially by themselves, you miss out on that blood sugar buffer. The sugar is absorbed quickly, your insulin spikes, and a crash soon follows. That crash doesn't just affect your brain or mood, it also affects your muscles. You may feel your legs ache or wobble, or notice that standing from a chair requires more effort than it should. Additionally, sweet apple varieties like Fuji or Gala contain more sugar and less fiber than tart varieties like Granny Smith. That makes them more likely to spike your blood sugar, especially if peeled. But don't worry, you don't need to give up apples. Just eat them whole with the skin on. Choose smaller apples if a whole one feels like too much, and pair them with a healthy fat or protein like almond butter, a cheese slice, or a handful of walnuts. This slows digestion, supports blood sugar balance, and gives your muscles the sustained energy they need. Shirley, a 74-year-old retired bus driver from Eugene, Oregon, loved her nightly routine of apple slices before bed. But she always peeled them and ate them plain. Over time, she started feeling sore in her hips each morning. Her granddaughter, a nurse, suggested she try green apples with the skin and pair them with a tablespoon of peanut butter. Within a week, Shirley noticed her morning soreness ease. By week's end, she was walking to the park again with more pep in her step. In summary, apples are a fantastic fruit, but only when eaten the right way. Keep the skin, add a protein, and give your body the tools it needs to stay balanced, energized, and strong. Now that we've looked at all 7 surprising fruits, let's wrap things up with a message of hope and encouragement for your journey ahead. As we age, the routines we've followed for decades, what we eat, when we eat, how we nourish ourselves may not serve us the same way they once did. And that's okay. Growing older doesn't mean giving things up. It means becoming wiser, more aware, and more attuned to what our bodies truly need. The fruits we thought were our friends, the bananas on toast, the juice with breakfast, the sweet bowl of raisins before a walk, may now need a second look. You've likely spent much of your life caring for others. Now, it's time to care just as deeply for yourself. Your legs carry your story. They've supported you through work, family challenges, and victories. They deserve to be strong, supported, and pain-free for the road ahead. The fruits we've talked about today aren't villains, they're just misunderstood. With a little awareness and some simple shifts, like pairing fruit with protein, choosing whole fruit over juice, and keeping the skins on, you can dramatically improve how you feel every day. Like pairing grapes with Greek yogurt, or simply eating the orange rather than drinking it. These small swaps aren't just healthy, they're doable. Even small changes can lead to big outcomes. One thoughtful snack. One smarter swap. One better breakfast. These are the seeds of stronger legs, steadier steps, and brighter mornings. Have your legs felt more tired lately? You're not alone. Drop one if you're making a change this week. Share this with someone you care about, or with a friend who's also been wondering why their energy dips before noon. Here's to lighter mornings, steadier steps, and the quiet strength in every choice you make. You've earned it.